tune into a little bit to them. Lower back, hips, and hamstrings, and quads, like this whole supportive space that we have in our physical body is geared and truly does so much for us. It is our vocal point for literally keeping our lower and upper bodies balanced or keeping them strong, being able to do the things that we do, and that's a lot. Every single person, there is just so much that occurs throughout our day-to-day life, and our back and our hips, especially hamstrings are right there though as well. Like these are very strong, very capable muscles when given the opportunity to have a little bit of balance between strength and stretch. And when they have that balance, meaning that they are strong, but they are also moved in dynamic and multifunctional ways, you gain that strength and that flexibility, and it helps to prevent at times quite debilitating injuries or prolonged chronic pain. So we're going to go into the stretching, I believe. We're just going to kind of warm up our body first. And so to do that, I'm just going to get you to activate your hands a little bit. And then we're going to slowly shift our body weight forward. So we're going to come into a tabletop position to begin today's class with. So depending on the space you're in, depending on how you're feeling this morning, you can make this as activated or as gentle as you are feeling you need. And again, whether it's this morning or this evening, whatever time of day it is for you, really begin to check in. And so again, just activate those hands. As you activate, you can place it on your body, or you can just kind of tune into how is my body feeling, in what shape, how deep am I wanting to go as we continue to explore how the physical body is feeling in this moment. So the very first one that we're going to do is we're just going to begin to open up through the hip joints, the knees, the ankles. And when we come into tabletop position, again, I'm a huge fan if you need some extra support, meaning you need some extra cushioning under the knees, if you need to change the upper position, lower position, I'll give you lots of variations and you can kind of just play with it as well. But the very first thing we're going to do is come into tabletop, and I'm going to just show a side view. So when you're in tabletop position, you want to allow yourself here to have a little bit of a wider stance than what we would normally do for some of our tabletop. So a couple of things that you can get creative on. You can have those hands quite wide. You can have the fingers rotated away from the body, from the main core body, or again, you can have them directly underneath of the shoulders. However, if your hands are directly underneath of the shoulders, as we continue to go into these stages, into these levels within the pose, it might get a little bit more challenging for stability and balance. So just a couple of things to be mindful as you're setting yourself up. Next one is the knees. Again, so this one is going to be either knees together, which makes it again a little bit different of a stretch. And again, knees are side by side, feet and ankles are side by side on the floor. Another option is to bring the knees further apart. So whichever ends up working for you. So either one works, and you're going to just changing and modifying those knees and those hands are going to make a difference on how the stretch feels. So to begin with, we just drop the hips, and then we're going to push back with our hands. We're literally drawing a really big circle. Depending on, again, where your body's at and how you're feeling, how big that circle is going to be quite unique to your needs. So as you go through and as you begin to create these circular movements in one direction, whichever one works for you, I'm choosing to bring my knees together. But again, if you want to, you can allow those knees to come apart just for, again, that little bit more stability. And as you're doing this movement, I want you to really lean into how, that's why the hands and the hand placement is so important. How far can those hips go for myself to the left before I feel like I need to drop those hips back towards the heels? And where is those little awakening moments, those little aha or sweet spots in my physical body that's kind of telling me there's some literal tight spots? And it's, I don't know if you can hear, but my hips are doing a lot of creaking and cracking. They're readjusting themselves. We're just going to come back up the center, and then we're going to switch in the opposite direction. So again, when you come back and when you're kind of switching directions, it's a whole new experience. So you go in the opposite direction. A few things that you can do within the micro movements here. You can actually, if you choose to, or if you're in that position where your knees are together, you can choose to push those knees together a little bit. And sometimes that can really help.